He's the Man of Steel, yet no one really trusts him. Welcome to the Complete Story Series, where we take trade paperbacks and single issues and break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then we read it dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. Once again, guys, these are a part of a promotional deal with Dr. Pepper and a few other things. I'll link the contest down below so you can get the comics yourself if you want to, but otherwise, let's move forward. A train was picking up speed at an alarming rate, and the conductor knows his train is about to derail. It's the end of his life and everyone on board, until he sees a red blur that is Superman coming to the rescue. Now, you need to take into consideration the things that Superman needed to think about in a hurry to save those people. Sure, he is strong and he could use his brute strength, but he would be causing the very thing that he was attempting to avoid. First, he had to sever the connection between the rear power car and the ones in front of it. Then he needed to get the power car out of the way, which was easy since it doesn't have any passengers, so he threw it off the tracks. Next, he was cutting the couplings connecting the passenger cars, and he had to ensure that each of them had enough space so they wouldn't smash into each other. After all of this, Superman realized that he was too slow, and the end of the track was coming. It was going to derail regardless. So his second plan was to slow the train down, but he can't use all of his strength for fear of once again derailing the train. He needed to use a proper amount of force to slow it down, but even that wasn't enough, and he wasn't going to be able to stop it. So he lifted the entire train off of the tracks and moved it to a flat space on the ground, where next he moved the injured out quickly, but slow enough not to injure them further. He then brought them to the EMTs. This is actually a few individuals recapping what happened, because they are debating who Superman is to the world on national television. One side is arguing that while he did act heroically, having godlike powers does not in fact make you a god. But looking at the bigger picture, should anyone have that kind of power? Presumably he can't be everywhere at once, so he needs to decide who he's going to save. How does he make the decisions as to who lives and who dies? The gentleman in the black suit counters. If you are referring to the Battle of Metropolis, Superman did everything that he could. I'm not convinced that he did, and I wasn't talking about the Battle of Metropolis. I've been to war, I've seen countries torn apart, and the civilians are stuck in the middle. But Superman doesn't get involved in wars. Why not? I actually agree with Superman's decision. Intervening in political disputes could make the situation worse. Surely you're not suggesting that he attempt to unilaterally disarm the country's militaries. Well, if he decided to, who could stop him? But I'm not saying that he should get involved. But why not save the civilians that are involved? And take them where? The world is already dealing with a refugee crisis. But what do we do when Superman has had enough? There is one man watching this broadcast that we all need to be worried about, because Lex Luthor agrees with that. As a matter of fact, he's counting on everything getting more complicated real soon. We have two more prequel stories revealing a little bit more of the behind the scenes leading up to the movie, and I hope you guys are as excited as I am. But as we are now moving into March, get ready for Batman and Superman month. I'm gonna do a lot of Batman and Superman, that's what I'm implying. There's gonna be a lot of it. I mean, there's gonna be a lot. There'll be some Marvel, don't worry. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at Comicstorian, on Instagram at Comicstorian, and you follow our gaming channel where we bring you gaming comic books, the usual Let's Play kind of stuff, and some lore. I'm Benny the Comicstorian, and I'll see you next time right here.